This is a quick presentation on the meaning of the fermatas found in Bach chorales. When we look at a chorale, we often find many fermatas. This choral score is the Bärenreiter edition of the St. John. The question is, do the fermatas mean the same as our current meaning of fermata, that is, hold or sustain? And the answer is no. From some of the earliest hymn books, there were times when the text was not underlaid under the music for all of the verses of the hymn. In order to help the singer in aligning the text to the music, there were indications at the ends of the musical phrases which corresponded to the ends of the text lines. We can see in this hymn book from 1524, yes, almost 500 years old, that there was a little dash at the end of the musical line, here highlighted for you by a yellow arrow. This corresponded to a slash at the end of the line of text, here indicated by a yellow underline. This has continued to be a concern with hymnals, although recent hymn books do not have the huge number of verses that some of the early hymns and chorales had, so often they are able to underlay the text within the musical score. As recently as the 1971 The Hymn Book, a joint publication of the United Church of Canada and the Anglican Church of Canada, we can see that their solution was to put a comma at the end of musical lines. This comma corresponded with the end of the text lines. The comma in music is often associated with a breath in musical notation, but this is not what is meant in this notation. It simply denotes the corresponding end of the line. In Bach's time, the answer was the usage of the fermata sign. The fermata was also used for the end of a da capo section, and in both of these instances did not indicate a sustaining of the note, the modern meaning of a fermata. Now here is a clear indication of a Bach score where he used fermata at the end of a chorale line, in this case in his setting of a chorale prelude, an arrangement of a chorale for organ. The other parts continue to move, so there is obviously no chance that a pause is indicated. Bach was just fulfilling the convention of putting a fermata sign at the end of a line in the chorale. When Bach's works regained popularity in the 19th century, the fermata had been established as a sustaining of the note. This caused performers to mistakenly sustain the chords under fermatas. Even well into the latter half of the 20th century, this was the case. Listen to these recordings, the first from 1950 of the Bach chorale Dein Wille geschehe shows us a distinct lengthening of every fermata. A later performance from 2011 gives us a very different interpretation. Most conductors now ignore the fermatas and create the shape of the chorale around the textual and musical phrasing. And what does all of this mean for the chorister? The usual. Watch the conductor.